Update. Ethan just hospitalized my bully and got suspended. Things between Ethan and me got complicated after that night at the library. I still hadn't confronted him about what I saw, but the more I watched him, the more everything started to add up. He'd disappear during lunch, come back looking like he'd run a marathon, or he'd sit through class fidgeting, like he was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. It made me nervous, but it also made me like him even more. Stupid, right? Anyway, everything came to a head one day in gym class. We were playing basketball, and this guy named Colin, your typical jerk who thought he was untouchable, started running his mouth. He'd been picking on me for weeks, but I always ignored him. Not that day. He made some gross comment about me and Ethan, and I told him to shut up in front of everyone. Bad move. Colin shoved me, hard. I fell and scraped my elbow on the court. Before I could even stand up, Ethan was there. I swear I didn't even see him move. One second he was on the sidelines, and the next, he had Colin pinned to the ground. Ethan wasn't yelling or anything, but there was this look in his eyes. Pure rage. "You don't touch her," he said, his voice low and terrifying. Colin tried to fight back, but Ethan just lost it. He punched him, over and over until people started screaming. 2 teachers had to pull him off, and by then, Colin was a bloody mess. They called an ambulance, and Ethan just stood there, fists clenched, breathing like he'd just run a mile. He didn't even flinch when the principal told him he was suspended. After everyone cleared out, I found him sitting on the bleachers outside, staring at his hands. "I'm sorry," he said quietly, when I sat down next to him. "I didn't mean to lose it like that." I told him I wasn't mad. Colin deserved it. But then I finally asked the question I'd been too scared to ask. "Ethan, what's going on with you?" He looked at me, and for the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. "You don't want to know," he said. "If I tell you, you'll never look at me the same." Before I could say anything, his phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, and his face went pale. "I have to go," he muttered, standing up. "Stay away from me. It's safer for you." And just like that, he was gone. I don't know what he's hiding, but now I'm more determined than ever to find out, even if it means putting myself in danger.